Part 288. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2871. Chapter 2871. Is this how he got angry with her? She felt that the man in front of her who deliberately ignored her was no different from the man or child she was angry with. She is now the adult holding the candy and ready to coax the child. Mo-Yessi ignored her on purpose, and Xiao Mian didn't mind, especially when she saw a cup of milk tea with ice cubes on the black coffee table next to her. The curve of her lips widened by 2 points. I was upset with her, but I also knew to prepare milk tea for her in advance. It's still her favorite flavor. Is this how he got angry with her? Xiao Mian also pretended not to know that he was ignoring her on purpose. She walked slowly to his side, and then she didn't say anything, just stood aside and looked at him silently. Then she found out. Mo-Yessi was indeed reading the document. But the document he was looking at lasted for more than a minute, and he didn't turn the page. What's more, what made Xiao Mian almost couldn't help laughing was that Mo-Yessi held the document in his hand backwards. Now, she was even more sure that he was deliberately ignoring her and getting into trouble with her. Just a few minutes passed like this. In the end, Mo-Yessi couldn't hold back. He threw the document in his hand on the ground and raised his head. There was a bit of helplessness in his dark eyes, and a bit of resignation. If I don't speak, you won't be prepared even if you don't talk. Just stand next to me for a whole day. I'm not afraid of disturbing your work. Xiao Mian's eyes flashed with a hint of cunning. She stretched out her hand and rushed towards him, actively throwing herself into his arms. Mo-Yessi's face was still cold, but as soon as she rushed towards him, he quickly hugged her into his arms, and then hugged her tightly. Xiao Mian smiled sweetly, stretched out her hand to hook his neck, and said in a soft voice, "How come? Are you willing to let me stand all the time? Besides, didn't you already know that I was coming? You didn't even talk to me. I thought you didn't want to pay attention to me." She was leaning in his arms and talking sweetly, but Mo-Yessi's face was still tense. Even if he made up his mind to be cold to her for a while at first, as soon as she showed kindness to him, he could no longer be cold. "Mo-Yessi, are you still angry with me?" Xiao Mian put her face close to his, nuzzled the tip of his nose gently. Her voice was 2 points softer than before, and she said delicately, "Don't, it's okay to be angry. I admit that I didn't plan to tell you about Jiao Angzhen at first. That was because I thought it was just a small matter that I could handle myself, and I didn't want you to worry about me. If it's something I can't solve, I'll definitely ask you to help me. I think asking you to help me with a small thing is overkill. If you don't mind me asking you for help with everything big or small, no matter what happens in the future, I will tell you first. Don't be angry anymore. How about I treat you to dinner tonight to make amends? Or, can I cook a meal for you myself?" As soon as Xiao Mian finished speaking a few words, the man's expression softened a lot. Xiao Mian took advantage of the victory and offered another kiss. She blinked, a blush appeared on her face, bit her lip and whispered softly, "I won't leave tonight. As long as you don't get angry with me. What do you want? So be it." This implication is too obvious. Mo-Yessi squinted his eyes and looked down at her charming little face, which had turned bright red. A flame suddenly ignited under his dark eyes. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2872. Chapter 2872. He has never been able to deal with her. Are you sure? When he spoke again, the man's voice became much lower and hoarse. "Yeah, I'm sure." "Why, you don't want to?" Xiao Mian asked knowingly. "Okay, this is what you said." The man's voice became lower and hoarse, and the arms around her waist tightened inch by inch. His deep eyes, as hot as fire, locked her firmly, and he lowered his head with a warm expression. His lips gently rubbed against hers. Don't regret it when the time comes. Then you're not angry with me anymore, Chiao Mian bit his lips lightly. Mo Yesi caught her pink lips that were about to leave, with a bit of helplessness and doting in his eyes. He sighed in a helpless tone, when have I ever been really angry with you? Even if he was angry, she could calm him down with a few kind words, and he would surrender with a white flag. He has never been able to do anything with her. The only time he deliberately ignored her was because there were rumors of an affair between her and a male star. He thought about giving her a cold shoulder. But it was himself who got cold in the end. He is destined to be eaten to death by her in this life. Are you not angry anymore? Chiao Mian frowned, tilted her head, and said with a smile, great. Can I go drink milk tea now? The cup of milk tea on the table should be prepared for me. Bar. Mo Yesi. Did she really regard coaxing him as a task? Well, it's prepared for you. Mo Yesi shook his head and reached out to pinch her cheek. Go and drink. But I suggest you not to drink too much. You will be off work soon. If you drink too much, wait for a while. You have no appetite for food. Good. After Chiao Mian coaxed the person, she immediately jumped off Mo Yesi's lap, took the milk tea and drank it happily. When she drank milk tea, her eyes narrowed, looking like she was enjoying it very much. Looking at her appearance, Mo Yesi shook his head again and said amusedly, does it taste so good? It's full of unhealthy junk ingredients. It's okay to drink it once in a while, but drinking it every day will affect your health. You'd better drink less. Well, I don't drink it every day. Chiao Mian nodded like a good baby. I only drink it once or twice a week. But the milk tea is really delicious. Do you want to try it? Maybe you can. I fell in love with the taste. No, you can drink it yourself. Mo Yesi refused simply. He checked the time and picked up the document he had just thrown away. I still have some documents to process. When they are finished, I'll take you to dinner. Well, then you can concentrate on your work and I won't disturb you. By the way, after lunch, I want to see Luoluo and little Yu. I will go back early in the evening. Chiao Mian has not seen Zhang Luli and her little niece for a while. Yesterday, Zhang Luli sent her a photo of little Yu. The little girl has grown up a lot, gained some weight, and her facial features have broadened a lot, making her look even more pleasing. Well, then you can say hello to my eldest brother and sister-in-law for me. Although Zhang Luli was still a little girl in Mo Yesi's eyes, no matter how young she was, she married his eldest brother and gave birth to a daughter for him. Mo Yesi now fully accepts Zhang Luli as his sister-in-law. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2873. Chapter 2873, You should have a baby as soon as possible. Asterisk. After lunch, Chiao Mian went to find Zhang Luli. Zhang Luli is now taking care of her children at home every day. Chiao Mian and she haven't seen each other for a while. They were very happy to see each other. Baby, aren't you still filming a variety show? Why are you back? Zhang Luli just put the child to sleep for a while, and finally found time to talk to his sisters. Although there are servants at home to help her take care of the children, but she still does most things herself. Although it was not that easy, she enjoyed it. I came back to do some things and took a day off. I thought I hadn't seen you and Yu for a while, so I came over to see you. Yu is growing up so fast. It's been less than a month since I last saw her. Well, he has grown up a lot. Yes, speaking of his daughter, Zhang Luli's brows were filled with happiness, and her eyes were particularly gentle. Siu also said that she grew up so fast that she could no longer wear the clothes she bought before. They say that children are not suitable for children. It's easy to take care of, but it's troublesome, but I think Yu is very well behaved, so it's not difficult to take care of her at all. She just eats and sleeps, wakes up and eats, and is quiet all day long. Except for the day she cried when she was born, she hardly cried at other times. Baby, seriously, you should have one earlier. Children. Chiao Mian looked at Zhang Luli's sincere expression and said amusedly, "Why, you want to join the birth team? I remember some people said before that children are the most troublesome creatures in the world. If I get married in the future, I will definitely not have children early. I'm not inducing birth." Zhang Luli thought about it seriously and said with a smile, "I did find children troublesome before, and I didn't like children very much. But after having Yu, my mentality has completely changed. When I look at her every day, I wonder how there is such a cute baby in the world. With Yu, I feel that I am very happy and satisfied now, and I have no regrets in my life. When you have your own baby in the future, baby, your thoughts will definitely change too. Besides, didn't you tell me that you are already preparing for pregnancy? If you give birth to a baby as soon as possible, you can play with Yu in the future." Speaking of preparing for pregnancy, Chiao Mian touched her belly. "Well, I am preparing for pregnancy. But there has been no movement." Zhang Luli also lowered his head and glanced at her belly, frowning slightly. After hesitating for a few seconds, he said with some confusion, "You have been preparing for pregnancy for a while. And from what you said, the male is involved in this matter. He was also very active, but there has been no movement. Is there something wrong? He and I both went for a checkup, and the doctor said that both he and I are fine." Chiao Mian said, sighing softly, "Probably, the baby doesn't want to come to this world too early. Anyway, I don't really want children, so just let nature take its course." "That's right." Zhang Luli nodded, "You and the male idol are both still young. It's not too late to have a baby even if it's a few years later. By the way, I watched the news today. Is that Zhang Xinyu really Jiao Angzhen? This what's going on?" Chiao Mian told her everything about her suspicions, from Jiao Angzhen's identity to letting Bai Yisheng and Qiao Chen secretly investigate her. After hearing this, Zhang Luli was surprised and frightened. She had plastic surgery to look like you, and she looked for opportunities to get close to you as soon as she returned home. She must have bad intentions. Fortunately, you are fine. But I am worried that you will expose her like this. She will definitely hate you even more and maybe do something crazy. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2874. Chapter 2874. I am afraid that I will be spoiled by him. Whenever I think of the female star who threw vitriol at you before, I get scared. Now you have a great career and love, and you are a winner in life in the eyes of others. I don't know how many people envy you. Qiao Angzhen has been jealous of you since she was a child, and now you are like this. You are better than her in everything, and she doesn't even know how to be jealous of you. Women's jealousy is very scary. It's easy to do things that hurt someone because of jealousy. Mian, you must be careful and be on guard against her. I always feel that she won't just give up." Chiao Mian met Zhang Luli's worried and concerned eyes and nodded, "Well, don't worry, I will pay attention. From now on, it will not be so easy for her to get close to me. Don't talk about me, talk about yours bar." "Mine?" Zhang Luli was startled. "What do you want to know?" "I heard that MRSMO often comes here to see you recently. Is it true?" "ACI told me that she seems to want to make up for the mistakes she made before and restore the previous relationship with her family." "Are you talking about her?" Zhang Luli was silent for a few seconds, nodded, and said calmly, she has been here a few times recently. Then what do you think? Chiao Mian asked. The conflict between Zhang Luli and Madame Mo is much deeper than the conflict between Chiao Mian and Madame Mo. Mo was just dissatisfied with Chiao Mian before and wanted to bring Mo Yesi and Shenro together. But he didn't do anything to actually hurt her. But when Mo took people to find Zhang Luli that time, she was planning to take Zhang Luli away by force. This is different from ordinary conflicts between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. If Mo Shixiu hadn't returned in time that time, I don't know what the consequences would have been. So it is normal for Zhang Luli not to forgive Mo easily. Of course I don't want to pay attention to her. Zhang Luli was a little irritated when she mentioned this matter. She reached out and pinched her eyebrows, but Grandma talked to me and said that since she is determined to change now, she hopes I can give her an opportunity. Grandma told me that everything will be happy if the family is harmonious. As you know, it's hard for me to refuse Grandma. But as soon as I see her, I will think of what she did to me, and I won't be able to forgive her. Then what did the elder brother say? Shi Xiu said it was up to me. Speaking of his husband, Zhang Luli had a smile on his face. He said he would not persuade me and let me make my own decision. No matter what decision I made, he would stand by me. This way. Brother is so kind to you. I thought you were not suitable for being together and even advised you to separate from him. Fortunately, you didn't listen to me. Otherwise, I would have ruined a good marriage given by God. I will have a bad conscience for the rest of my life. Chiao Mian saw Zhang Luli so happy and was very happy for her. I also thought we were not suitable for each other. Zhang Luli narrowed his eyes and sighed softly, but from the time we were together until now, he has been really nice to me. It is not an exaggeration to say that he is obedient and responsive to all my requests. He is so good to me, I am afraid that I will be spoiled by him. Mian, you know, before I met him, I never dared to think that I would meet someone so good to me in the future. He would tolerate me unconditionally, accommodate me, and pamper me. Whenever I open my mouth, no matter what, he will do everything for me. Even my biological parents couldn't do this. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2875. Chapter 2875. Mo Yesi is very good to me. I'm really glad that I can marry him and become his wife. I even want to give him another child now. Chiao Mian was stunned. Are you planning to have a second child? Zhang Luli smiled. I have this idea. However, even if I want another baby, I won't want it now. Let's wait a few years. I can't always take care of the child at home. I also have my own dreams to chase. I thought that when Yu is older and can talk and walk on her own, I can feel a little more relieved. By then, I will be able to free up time to do my own things. We have made an appointment, and I will take photos. You will be my heroine in my first movie. Asterisk. Chiao Mian stayed at Zhang Luli's place until dinner before going back. Mo Yesi picked her up after get off work. This night, Mo Yesi did not waste any opportunity. It was not until dawn that Chiao Mian fell into a deep sleep. Originally, she only took one day off. But when she woke up, it was already the afternoon of the next day. Mo Yesi asked her for another day's leave. With this day off, Chiao Mian went to Bai's house to visit Bai's mother and father. Bai Mu was naturally very happy to see her. Mian, why are you back suddenly? Didn't you say that it will take half a month to shoot? In the hall, Bai Mu held Chiao Mian's hand with a happy face. Her eyes were so happy that she almost burst into tears with laughter. With a smile on her face and joy in the corners of her eyebrows, she turned to the maid, who also gave the same instructions: go and take out the birds' nests that were stewed for me in the kitchen for the lady to drink. By the way, let the kitchen prepare some snacks that the lady likes to eat. Come. Miss will stay for dinner in the evening, and prepare a rich dinner. Make more dishes that Miss likes to eat. Go to the garden and bring the big orange, it must be hiding in some flower bush and sleeping in. You can bring its favorite canned food over there and lure it out. Every time Jiao Mian came to Bai Mu's place, she would pet the fat orange cat. Bai Mu knew that she liked cats, so she asked the servant to bring the cat over and pet it for her. Although Jiao Mian was admitted back to the Bai family, she had her own family after marrying Mo Yesi. So I don't go back to the Bai family often. Every time she comes over, Bai Mu is very happy. Yes, ma'am, the maid agreed with a smile, then turned around and went to the kitchen to explain the matter. Bai Mu held Jiao Mian's hand and looked at her carefully several times. Then she frowned little by little and said distressedly, "Why do you look thinner than the last time I came here? Mo Yesi is, how does he take care of you? Is he busy with work and neglects to take care of you?" "Mom, I'm still the same weight as before." "How can I lose weight?" Jiao Mian pursed her lips and smiled. "You think I've lost weight? Mo Yesi is very good to me and takes good care of me." "Really?" Bai Mu looked her up and down again. "It looks like she has lost weight." "Every time I come here, you say I've lost weight," Jiao Mian said with a smile. "I just measured my weight a few days ago, and I've gained a pound." Only then did Bai Mu want to believe that it was because she was not sure. Although she was very happy to see her daughter, Bai Mu was still a little worried and asked, "Why are you back? Is there something wrong?" "Well, something happened." "Is it settled now?" "Well, it's settled. I took 2 days off and will return to the show crew tomorrow." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2876. Chapter 2876. Maybe I want to give you a surprise. No, if I ask for leave for too long, it will delay everyone's work progress. I can't let everyone wait for me alone. Mom, this shooting will not take long. It will be completed in half a month at most. Soon I can come back to see you. Bai Mu still had a look of reluctance on her face, and sighed, "I don't think you should take your job too seriously. You told me before that you planned to have a baby with Mo Yesi, but you are always filming outside like this. It's like a TV show and variety show. How can you, a young couple, have children when you spend less time together and more time apart? You should still take more rest at home." I know, Jiao Mian nodded quickly. "I will take a break after this filming is over." "Mom, are you in a hurry to hug your grandson?" "Don't be anxious, I think you might be quick, then I can hold my grandson." Bai Mu was stunned and immediately looked at her belly. "I'm not pregnant," Jiao Mian said quickly, fearing that Bai's mother would misunderstand. "I mean, maybe my child will be born before mine." "Your brother," Bai Mu frowned. "Where do you start talking about this? There is not even a trace of a woman around him now, so if you have a child, you don't have to tell the story." "Jiao Mian, brother didn't tell you." "What did you say?" Bai Mu looked confused. "Brother has a girlfriend now. And he plans to bring his girlfriend with him when he comes back this time. He told me that if nothing happens, the girl he brings back this time will be my future sister-in-law." Where is the old man's future daughter-in-law?" Bai Mu was startled, with an extremely surprised expression on her face. What did you say?" She was so surprised that she couldn't speak clearly and stammered, "You said your brother has a girlfriend?" "Yes," Jiao Mian nodded. "Is this true?" Bai Mu still had an expression of disbelief on her face, with shock in her eyes. Mian, you didn't lie to Mom, did you? Your brother really has a girlfriend? And he plans to take his girlfriend with him when he returns to China this time?" "Return? It's true." "Mom, why did I lie to you?" Chiao Mian said with a smile, that's what I told you anyway. He shouldn't lie to me, and there's no need for him to lie to me. Mrs. Bai was stunned for a while, and then she seemed to finally believe it. Her face gradually showed joy, and her eyes lit up. She looked in a good mood. Okay, this is a good thing. I have worried about your brother's lifelong affairs for so many years, and it has become a worry for me. I'm afraid that the older he gets, the less he wants to get married. If we really bring someone back, we must treat them well. We can't let people think that our Bai family is difficult to get into, and that your dad and I are difficult people to get along with, so they were scared away by us. Bai Mu has been looking forward to her daughter-in-law for so many years, and now she finally has hope. She is excited and happy at the same time, as if she has encountered a great happy event. Your brother is such a bastard. He didn't even tell me about such a big thing. Is he afraid that your father and I will object if he hides it like this? Chiao Mian thought for a while and said, maybe I want to give you a surprise. It's a surprise. Bai Mu smiled so hard that she couldn't close her mouth. I've been looking forward to it for so many years and finally got it. I just don't know what kind of person your brother's girlfriend is. But your brother is so discerning. There's definitely no bad girl for him to fall in love with. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2877. Chapter 2877. She should be taught a lesson. Chiao Mian thought of Mrs. and couldn't help but ask, Mom, do you have any requirements for your future sister-in-law? As long as he is a child with good conduct and an innocent family background, that's enough. Mrs. Bai said with a gentle smile, I don't have any other requirements. As long as your brother likes it, she and your brother can live a good life. We as parents can feel relieved. You don't care about her family background. It's a lie to say that I don't care at all. It's best if you are well matched. But it doesn't matter if you are from an ordinary family, as long as you are a good person. Anyway, our Bai family doesn't lack anything. We just spend the wealth we have now. A few lifetimes are enough, and there is no need to ask the other person to be a wealthy daughter. Chiao Mian heard what Bai's mother said, and then thought of Mrs. She had to sigh in her heart that although the Bai family and the Mo family were both famous families, not every elder in a famous family would pay special attention to their family background. Mrs. and Bai Mu are completely different. The former attaches great importance to family background, even to the point of paranoia. No matter how good or outstanding you are in other aspects, as long as your family background is not up to standard, you will still be unqualified in Mrs. eyes. But Bai Mu only requires that the other party has a good character and a clean family background. Think about it, no matter who marries Bai Yusheng in the future, there will be no conflicts between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. By the way, what's going on with Jiao Angzhen? Bai Mu said suddenly. I saw on the news that she had plastic surgery and looked like you, and then she came back to spread rumors about your affair with the Gong family's children. Is this true? Although I have read the relevant news. But Bai Mu didn't really believe it. After all, she had met Jiao Angzhen before. There is still a big gap between Jiao Angzhen's eyes before and her current appearance. Bai Mu didn't believe it was the same person. Yes, it's true. Chiao Mian frowned. Mom, have you also seen my scandal? Gong Zili and I. You don't need to explain to me, of course I believe in my daughter. Before she could finish speaking, Bai Mu interrupted her, those news reports are all nonsense. However, that Jiao Angzhen is too much. When she pretended to be you, we almost made it impossible for mother and daughter to recognize each other. At that time, we should not have let her go so easily. I didn't expect that. Not only did she not know how to repent, but now she even got worse and wanted to harm you. I think she should be taught a lesson. Bai Mu is a kind-hearted and gentle person. She could say such words, which shows that she is quite disgusted with Jiao Angzhen. Bai Mu is extremely disgusted with Jiao Angzhen. Jiao Angzhen once pretended to be Jiao Mianmian and almost took Jiao Mianmian's position. When Bai Mu thought of this incident, she became very angry. On the one hand, it was because she felt that she had been fooled by Jiao Angzhen. On the other hand, it was Jiao Angzhen who almost made her unable to recognize her biological daughter. Now, knowing that Jiao Angzhen wanted to harm Jiao Mianmian again, Bai Mu had murderous intentions for the first time in her life and wanted Jiao Angzhen to disappear. She was afraid that Jiao Angzhen's presence would hurt Jiao Mianmian. But it was impossible for Bai Mu to really kill Jiao Angzhen, but she thought it was okay to teach her a lesson or something. Mom, don't be angry, it's not worth it to affect your mood for this kind of person. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2878. Chapter 2878, Being Driven Away. Seeing that Bai Mu's face was red with anger, Jiao Mianmian quickly patted her chest to calm her down. Don't worry, I will teach her a lesson. She spread rumors about me, which not only affected my reputation, but also the reputations of the Bai family and the Mo family. I will not let her go just like that. It's not easy to teach Jiao Angzhen a lesson. Jiao Angzhen has just returned to China and has no financial resources of her own. She relies on Suzy to help her with everything. But now that her contract has been terminated by the Gong family, I'm afraid Suzy won't care about her anymore. Once you lose Suzy's care, she and Lin Huijin had nothing to rely on. Jiao Mianmian had someone check it. Suzy paid 1/4's rent in advance for the apartment where Jiao Angzhen lives now. So she will not be reduced to sleeping on the street for the time being. But what if, drive her away? She is penniless now. Once she loses her place of residence, even if she won't really end up sleeping on the street, it will definitely not be much better. That apartment is the property of the Bai family. It couldn't be easier for her to drive away Jiao Angzhen. The corners of Jiao Mianmian's lips curled up a little, and she already had an idea in her mind. Asterisk. Why did you do this? Why did you drive us out? We have paid the rent, but the lease term has not yet expired. You are in breach of contract, and I am going to sue you. Let go, let go. Ah, what are you doing? An Xin, didn't you say that Suzy paid 1/4's rent? Why are they evicting us now? Did Suzy have someone evict us? He is heartless, yes. Why does he treat us mother and daughter like this? Jiao Angzhen and Lin Huijin were kicked out of the room together with their luggage. In the corridor, the mother and daughter's clothes and various daily necessities were piled up in a mess. They were all thrown out. Jiao Angzhen tried to return to the room, but was pushed to the ground hard. She fell heavily to the ground, and her arms and knees were bruised. Her face turned pale from the pain, and she couldn't get up from the ground for a long time. When Lin Huijin saw this, she went to help her with a pale face, crying and saying, "An Xin, what the is going on?" Jiao Angzhen gasped in pain, and after a while she raised her pale face. She looked angrily at the security guards standing at the door, gritted her teeth and said angrily, "Why do you drive us out? It's illegal for you to do this. I want to call the police to arrest you." Several security guards looked down at her. The leader smiled and looked at her as if he were watching a joke and said, "Ms. Zhang, we are also following orders. You have paid 1/4's rent, so in advance evicting you is considered a breach of contract by the landlord, but the landlord has already paid double the penalty. So, this matter has been resolved. Even if you call the police will not accept it anymore." Jiao Angzhen was stunned. After a few seconds, he cursed angrily, "Fart, what kind of liquidated damages? Why didn't I see it? Whoever paid the rent will of course pay the liquidated damages. If Ms. Zhang did not receive the liquidated damages, you have to ask yourself, Who paid the rent here? In short, we are acting according to the rules. The landlord has taken back the house here, and you can no longer live in it. Now, please leave immediately. If you continue to act bad here and refuse to leave, we will take coercive measures. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2879. Chapter 2879. I won't let him get what he wants. Suzy found the house. The rent was naturally provided by Suzy. Qiao Angzhen and Lin Huijin had always relied on Suzy to provide them with living expenses for their mother and daughter. The same will naturally happen after returning to China. She has been working as an artist since graduating from school. So once she leaves the entertainment industry and cannot continue to make money in the entertainment industry, she will not have other survival skills. Of course, if she is willing to endure hardship and find a more ordinary job that does not require any professional skills, it will be fine. But how could she put down her dignity to do those things? What's more, for her, the little money she earns from a normal job is not enough to buy a piece of clothing, a pair of shoes, and a bag. People who are accustomed to living a superior life are not willing to live an ordinary life. That is the case for Qiao Angzhen. Under Suzy's arrangement, she also spent some time in the entertainment industry abroad. After accepting some bad movies and some advertisements for Sanwoo products, Ling Ling also made a little money, but she used it all for plastic surgery. After returning to China, she was basically penniless. She originally expected that when she returned to Yunqing, she could make a lot of money in the entertainment industry very quickly. But before she had a chance to make money, she had already been kicked out of the entertainment industry. Suzy doesn't care about her now. She has no money and she was kicked out of the rented house. It can be said that it is as miserable as it is. After several blows, Qiao Angzhen felt that she was going crazy. Ms. Zhang, please leave immediately. The security guard looked at the pale mother and daughter expressionlessly. When he spoke again, his tone was already very bad. If we force you to send you away, maybe the picture will not be the same so beautiful. Qiao Angzhen certainly knows what the so-called coercive measures mean. She won't leave again. These security guards were about to carry her and her mother away and throw her out of the community. By the time people in the entire community will see that scene, Qiao Angzhen couldn't afford to lose such face, and she knew in her heart that she had to leave whether she wanted to or not. She raised her head, bit her lip, with unwillingness and resentment in her eyes, and slowly got up from the ground. Mom, let's go. But where are we staying tonight? Lin Huijin supported her, her eyes were red. We can't sleep on the street as mother and daughter at night. How could Suzy, that inhumane short-lived ghost, do this? Is he going to push us, mother and daughter, to a dead end? Lin Huijin thought it was Suzy who drove them away. He kept cursing Suzy. Even Qiao Angzhen thinks so. With resentment in her eyes, she gritted her teeth and said, he wants to completely cut off his relationship with me, because he is afraid that I will affect his bright future. Since he has done things so well, I am not someone to be bullied. I won't let him get what he wants. Asterisk. Qiao Angzhen and Lin Huijin dragged their large and small bags into a taxi. Qiao Angzhen used her mobile phone to search for a relatively cheap express hotel nearby and asked the driver to take them there. She doesn't have much money. But I still have enough money to stay in a hotel for a few days. 20 minutes later, the taxi stopped at the entrance of the express hotel. Qiao Angzhen followed Lin Huijin out of the car. After entering the lobby, Qiao Angzhen went to the front desk to check in. The two girls at the front desk looked very young, around 20 years old. When Xiao Angzhen handed over her ID card, one of the girls glanced at her ID card, then raised her head and looked at her strangely. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2880. Chapter 2880. You are not welcome here. What's wrong? Another girl saw this and asked in a low voice. The girl handed over the ID card in her hand and lowered her voice. Is this Zhang Xinyu, the same Zhang Xinyu who was trending on Weibo today? The name is the same and she looks quite similar. Hearing what she said, another girl took the ID card and looked at it, then raised her head and looked at Xiao Angzhen. Subsequently, the two exchanged glances and confirmed Xiao Angzhen's identity. When Xiao Angzhen saw that the two front desk girls had not checked her in for a long time and were looking at her strangely, she immediately got angry and said angrily, "What are you mumbling about? What's wrong with my ID card? Please handle the check-in procedures for me." Both girls raised their heads, the original polite smiles no longer on their faces. Are you the Zhang Xinyu who stole Xiao Mianmian's boyfriend and had plastic surgery to look like Xiao Mianmian? Sorry, we don't welcome people like you here. You can find another hotel. After the girl at the front desk said that, she threw away her ID card onto the countertop. It's just that we don't welcome shameless women like you here. Do you think you can become like Xiao Mianmian by having plastic surgery? Just dream, no matter what kind of plastic surgery a woman like you with an ugly heart can become, no one will like you. The two girls are both fans of Xiao Mianmian, so they will naturally not look down upon Xiao Angzhen when they meet her. Both of them scolded Xiao Angzhen severely. Xiao Angzhen was dumbfounded by the scolding. When she reacted, her face became extremely ugly. She pointed at their noses and said angrily, "What's your attitude? You are just front desk staff. What qualifications do you have to not allow guests to check in? Call your manager, I'm going to file a complaint against you." When the two girls at the front desk heard what she said, they were not afraid at all. "No need to call the manager, our manager doesn't like you either, and he won't let people like you stay in our hotel, which will affect the image and reputation of our hotel. You can't leave, or we'll call the security guards to kick you out." You guys," Xiao Angzhen was so angry that her nostrils were twisted. "How can your hotel do things like this?" Lin Huijin sat aside and waited for Xiao Angzhen. Seeing that she had not completed the check-in procedures, she felt confused, so she got up and came to find her. Then I heard two girls at the front desk chasing Xiao Angzhen away. They were driven away by community security just an hour ago. Now even the front desk staff of the hotel have to be kicked out. And it's not a very good express hotel. How could she bear this tone? She pointed at the noses of the two front desk girls and cursed, "You are just front desk employees. Who gave you the right to drive guests away? Believe it or not, I will file a complaint against you now and ask you to pack up and leave immediately. It's too much. It's just a small express hotel, and the employees can be so arrogant. Call your boss out, and I want to ask him how he recruits people, and how he hired employees like you." At this time, a group of people came out of the elevator. Another group of people came in from outside the gate. Because Lin Huijin's voice was very loud, it immediately attracted the attention of many people. Everyone in the hall looked at her. Then he saw Lin Huijin standing at the front desk, and also saw Xiao Angzhen standing next to Lin Huijin. End of this chapter.